They called her cruel, a tyrant, a queen who ruled with fear. Her name became a warning, a symbol of brutality. But history has a way of simplifying people, reducing them to labels, without explaining the world they lived in. Because before the accusations, before the stories told about her, there was a kingdom, and that kingdom was under threat. Madagascar was already changing. Under King Ranavalona I, the island had opened itself to Europe. Missionaries arrived. European education systems were introduced. Christianity began to spread. Trade expanded, and with it, so did influence. At first, it looked like progress. But beneath the surface, control was shifting. Because European presence rarely came without expectation, and expectation often turned into dominance. When King Ranavalona I died in 1828, the question wasn't just who would rule. It was what direction Madagascar would take. Ranavalona was not the obvious choice. Her rise to power involved political maneuvering, alliances, and decisions that would define her rule from the very beginning. Because once she took the throne, she made it clear Madagascar would not continue down the same path. Ranavalona rejected the growing European influence. Missionaries were expelled. Christian practices were restricted. Foreign control, whether cultural, religious, or political, was pushed back. She reinforced traditional Malagasy beliefs, customs, authority. This wasn't just about resistance. It was about identity, about who controls a nation's future. But resistance came with consequences. Her rule was strict. Enforcement was severe. Trials were conducted in ways that reflected traditional systems, including the Tangena ordeal, a method used to determine guilt or innocence. Labor systems expanded. Loyalty was demanded, and opposition was not tolerated. These actions became the foundation of her reputation, the reason history remembers her the way it does. Here's the part that complicates everything. While her policies were harsh, they were also effective. During her reign, Madagascar remained independent. At a time when much of Africa was being colonized, Madagascar resisted. No European power took control, not during her rule, and that raises a question. Was the cost of that independence too high? Or was it the only way to maintain it? Most of what we know about Ranavalona comes from European accounts. Missionaries, travelers, outsiders, people who had been expelled, or restricted, or opposed by her rule. So when they wrote about her, they told a story shaped by their experience, their perspective, their loss of influence. And that matters, because history is not just what happened, it's who gets to tell it. So what is her legacy? To some, she is one of the most ruthless rulers in history. To others, she is a leader who did what was necessary to protect her people, a queen who refused to let her kingdom be controlled. Both things can exist at the same time: power, protection, and consequence. Ranavalona I ruled for over 3 decades, and when her reign ended, Madagascar was still standing, still independent, still its own. History may debate her methods, but it cannot ignore her impact. Because in a world where empires were expanding, she held the line. And that is a receipt. If you want more stories like this, stories that challenge what you've been taught, make sure you subscribe and check out the full Warrior Queen series in the description. History. Receipts. No cap.